right there. Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids, everyone. Another interesting video for you here today. Today we're going to be doing the history of oil and why it's important in the game of bowling.
T-shirts have just launched. We got two designs for you guys, the caricature and the nice and simple JR Pro Shop logo. We have a ton of different colors in every size and we're shipping all around the world. This is a great way to help support our channel. We have lots of new designs coming soon and we appreciate all of you for watching our videos.
Thank you so much to Gus and Thomas, the lane techs here. They stripped and dressed 4 lanes for us for this video. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
So what is lane oil? So lane oil was first developed as a protective layer over the wood. Now what this did was reduce the friction between the wood lane and originally the wood bowling balls. As time went on and bowling ball technology advanced, we had rubber and plastic and then ultimately urethane. And with all those changes, we had to add more and more and more oil. So if we fast forward to 1970, typically lanes would have 4 milliliters of oil on them. So to visualize that amount, that's roughly about 1 teaspoon on the entire lane surface. So around this time, we started to see bowling balls that dug into the lane a little bit more. So in 1971, we saw an increase from 4 mils to 6 mils. That's 50% more. That's a lot. So this started a trend where the manufacturers of bowling balls and lane oil started competing with each other. So we'd have balls that hooked more, and we needed more oil, and balls that hooked even more oil. So this has gone on for the last about 40 years. So we fast forward to modern day, if you just watch the Masters of the US Open, those guys bowled on 30 mils of oil. That's 5 times what it was in 1971. So to match that amount of oil, we have strong bowling balls, like a proton physics, that has a strong asymmetric core and a very porous, very aggressive cover stock. So today we're going to try a bit of an experiment. We're going to try bowling on 2 different 40-foot patterns. The first one's going to have 30 mils of oil, and the second one's going to have 18 mils of oil, something you might have seen about 10 or 15 years ago. And for the third lane, we've stripped the oil off the lane completely. We're bowling on 0 oil. Let's see what these strong bowling balls do.
On the 30 mil pattern, they got lined up to throw some strikes. Jimu used his Axiom, Simu used his Proton Physics here. They were about 15 board at the laydown, out to about 10 at the break point, which is right in line with our rule of 31. And they were able to throw a couple nice flush strikes. All right, next up, the boys bowled on the 18 mil pattern. Barks, what happened?
So what we did, we lined them up on the same line that they threw on the 30 mil pattern to see how the balls would react in comparison. So we'll start with Simu throwing his Proton Physics. So he played the same line as he played on the 30 mil pattern. On the 18 mil pattern, his ball hooked quite early and he missed the head pin to the left. In order to strike, he had to move his feet 15 boards to the left to hit the pocket. So next up we had Jimu throwing his Axiom. Similar result when throwing on the 18 mil pattern. So the ball took off earlier and way more. It was a runaway Brooklyn. So Jimu ended up having to move his feet 10 boards to the left in order to strike. So 40% less oil. These boys had to play way different parts of the lane in order to strike. Pretty drastic.
That was a drastic move. You can really tell how important milliliters of oil is now. When you check out that graph before you go to tournament, very important.
Speaking of drastic, let's bowl on 0 oil and see what happens. All right, 0 oil. What did we see out there?
That was brutal. Unbowlable, unplayable. Can't bowl on it. Might as well just go bowl in the parking lot, set up a few beer cans. Same thing. So with that being said, no oil. It's basically like putting in the rough. Totally brutal. Can't play. Might as well just go home. So that is why oil is very important for the game of bowling. Makes the game more enjoyable, makes the game easier to play, gives the game of bowling more variety, gives the game of bowling more variables, and overall more fun.
So it wasn't just the strong bowling balls that hooked. We tried throwing plastic, we tried throwing a house ball, we still couldn't keep it on the lane. Uncontrollable, unplayable.
Brutal. Brutal. Never doing that again. Speaking of which, I gotta go oil the lane
Oh yeah.
for tomorrow. All right, question time with Barco.
I'm not gonna use that.
Yeah, he is.
So in general, do you prefer bowling on a higher volume, like 30 mils, or something a little bit lighter, like 18 mils, or something in between? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our online store at shop.jrproshop.com. We've got a couple different t-shirt designs and more on the way. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you learned something today.